Alright you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be looking at this beautiful Ford Explorer ST line rear wheel drive. Very sporty, very aggressive. Definitely not your typical SUV. This vehicle is available for sale right now at Auto Savvy Houston Southwest. If you have any questions about this vehicle, pricing, specs, please visit autosavvy.com. We're working with a 2.3 liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. Red stitching, very beautiful. Red stitching as well. Very nice, very beautiful large touchscreen. Easy to use, easy to navigate. Tons of space back here. Cup holders, third row as well, some storage space, climate controls. You also get your Explorer badge, that's really cool. Type C charging ports, really cool. So you get the option to control your climate back here. And you know, I love this Type C. It's 2025 2026. Let's start using Type C's. I love that. Very beautiful, very comfortable rear seats. Tons of space back here as well. Electric gate. Red stitching. Oh, can't forget this, right? Very nice touch. Passenger, you're greeted with your ST badge. Red stitching as well. Kind of like a handle here. Grab yourself with the cup holders. Very nice. ST line badging. Really beautiful front fascia. I love the way it looks. Very modern, aggressive, sporty. And I know that this is the Lincoln Aviator is also based on this body, on this chassis, and you can definitely tell by looking at this part of the vehicle right here. It reminds me a lot of the Aviator. I mean, it is the same body, the same car essentially, but you know what I mean. Anyway, let's take this on the road, see how it drives. Another detail that I forgot to mention is that the button to open this, you're gonna find it underneath the R. Okay, it took me a while to find it. So it's gonna be directly underneath the R. It's a very hot day in Houston today. The steering is excellent, and we're gonna have to do it a bit differently this time. We usually do the agility test at the very end of the video, but the road is closed, they're working on it. So since we're right here already, you know, let's see how this SUV feels. It feels very light, very easy to, you know, turn around, very smooth. I love it. I'm not fighting with the steering wheel. Even though it looks very aggressive and very sporty, on the inside, this feels very easy to move. Now, obviously, it's not very connected. You do have to move the steering wheel a lot just to get a little bit of, you know, a turn. You do have to play with it a lot. You do have to make big turns. But it's okay because it's fine. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard at all. Let's see, what if we do it on sport mode? Would that change? This is sport mode. Oops, we got a civilian walking right there. On sport mode, about the same. Not a big difference. I don't think we're gonna be feeling a big difference on this car, you know, between like eco mode and normal and sport, and that's fine. Okay. All right. I'm excited to drive it in sport mode, but right now we're gonna start in you see, this is one of the things that I don't like about this. I thought I was moving the dry mode and I was putting it more on D. But yeah, we're gonna change the dry mode right now. Dry mode is down here. You have a couple of dry modes. You have light off-roading. You get some trail slippery for wet, icy, snowy roads. You also get normal, normal everyday balance, driving balance. You also get eco, efficient driving. Oh, and then to let you know that you're on eco, you also get a little symbol down here. Last but not least, sport, or not last, because we also have tow and haul. Okay, we're gonna be driving it on normal mode for now. So you get plenty of dry modes, which kind of sucks because once again, I can already tell that we won't be feeling a big difference with this car. Unfortunately, traffic is heavy, so we won't really be able to give it a little bit of gas here, but that's fine. I don't think you're gonna be expecting a lot of performance from this car. Visibility wise, excellent. Excellent. I love every angle from it. On the outside, I love the red, the details around it too. The chrome, the dark colors makes this vehicle stand out. I mean, look at this, black, it's either black or white or gray, so to see a red vehicle, it's really cool. Definitely different. And this is not just a red vehicle, it's a very nice looking, decent vehicle. Okay, so my foot was all the way to the bottom. I was flooring it and nothing exciting really happened. It reminds me a lot of the Acadia Denali. If you guys remember, my comments from that video was that it definitely doesn't feel like a V6, like a naturally aspirated V6. It feels just like a semi-powerful 4-cylinder engine. You can tell that this engine would be really fun in a smaller vehicle, not a big heavy vehicle like this one. I mean, nothing's really happening. That's sport. You also don't get paddle shifters, which I'm okay with that. Completely okay with that. I don't want paddle shifters. That's fine. It might look like the car is a little bit more aggressive, but I'm not gonna use them. People that buy this car, they're not gonna be using the paddle shifters. And don't come over here in the comments saying, oh, you usually would use the paddle shifters to when you're towing. That's not true. flooring it, nothing exciting really happens. I heard the little twin turbos are, I heard the little turbo there just going psst. Yeah, I mean, you floor it, and I don't want to say it struggles, because it doesn't feel like it struggles, but you can tell that the turbo there is like pushing this engine to the max. Now, what are some of the benefits? Obviously, fuel efficiency, right? You know, less cylinders to work on, I'm gonna assume. Every single manufacturer, Chevy, Dodge, GMC, you know, even Porsche, they're investing heavily in small engines, in small 4-cylinder turbo engines. It doesn't matter if it's for their sedans or their SUVs. They're supercars, they're hypercars. You know, there's hypercars out there with 4-cylinder turbo engines, which is crazy, but you know. Welcome to the modern era, 2026. And now we also have a 4-cylinder turbo on a heavy vehicle like this one. Alright, going back to I want to say Eco. Yeah, let's try Eco. Let's see how Eco feels like. Is it gonna make the car? Oh wow. I mean, there's already a huge lag, and on Eco mode that lag is bigger. Look, I think I'm judging or reviewing this vehicle maybe not the best way. You know, this vehicle is not competing with a Bentley Bentayga or a Maserati Levante. That's not what it's competing with. You know, it's competing with Hyundai, it's competing with Honda, Toyota. And for that segment, this vehicle is perfect. For that segment, this vehicle is fine. It's beautiful. It has great tech, very comfortable. This is something that I love. How easy it is to just put your phone in there, you know, and for it to start charging. You know, obviously once you put it correctly. You also get one here, and you get one right there. Really nice, really cool. The material feels really nice. Let's see, how can I tell if it's charging? Yeah, charging right there. Immediately. I love this. I really don't like how in some cars it's like this, like just flat, and your phone is like moving around. This has access for 2 phones, and very easy to just place it there. You know, remove it, place it there, you're good to go. Okay, never mind then. I thought this was also a charging pad. It's a place to put your phone. This is the only charging. It's charging right there, and it has the lightning symbol. So this is the only place where you can charge your phone. Okay, cool, good to know. There it is, charging again. Let's check out the screen, man. All right, driver assistance, map view. All right, yeah, let's look at the map. What's the map view? Okay, all right, I love this. Yes, Chevy does an amazing job at installing, you know, the Apple Maps onto the front dashboard, and this is beautiful right here. It makes it really, really easy. Instead of looking at this, you know, this half a second that you're gonna look at this screen, it's easier to just look down real quickly and look up again without moving your head back and forth. Love that. Fuel economy. Okay, that's my trip, tire pressure. Okay. What's my fuel economy? Alright. Map view, driver assistance. What's that gonna look like? Okay, so it just shows, and it shows it in the color that the car is painted. That's cool. It's not just showing a A4 Explorer, but okay, look at this. This one is showing it with a sunroof, and this one doesn't have one. I guess they missed that small detail there. Calm view. This is the calm view, where you just see how much, you know, gas you have and how fast you're going. You don't need to see the RPMs or anything like that. Now, one thing that I really don't like is how everything is integrated into the touchscreen. The climate controls, I hate this. You know, and it sucks because more and more manufacturers are doing the same thing. It's cheaper, you know, and it makes this area look a bit cleaner, but I don't know. I personally prefer physical buttons. Alright, and last but not least, let's try the speed bump test. If I'm not mistaken, this is in eco mode. Okay, very nice, normal. Okay, I mean, not too aggressive, not too soft. A very average feel to it. I don't think anything is gonna change if we put it on sport. I mean, you can always give it a try. Yeah, same. The throttle just picks up quicker, but the suspension is the same.